First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao-Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Tsung-Kung. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Tupten Tarshi. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the group practice this evening, Padma Kumara. Sumo, Tanzan Gato, Tupten City, Tupten Kama, all Dharma masters, Dharma lecturers, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma tutors, temple and center directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good evening, how do you do?
I stay. Hola amigo. Te quiero mucho. Sukoyin. Ichiba. Kimochi. Jumi. Yapi. Pudin pudin. Komawa.
Today we had the graduation ritual for their training for the ordained Sangha training. As a Dharma teacher, you should have Dharma in order to be a teacher. A Dharma teacher is not that by shaving your head you become a Dharma teacher. You have to have the responsibility of a Dharma teacher or referent. Most importantly, you have to deliver yourself and deliver others. Until you perfect yourself and others, that you would be called a Siddha, that you have attainment only after you have delivered yourself and others. So for a Dharma teacher, they must have many things to learn. Although they have learned them and graduate, but those are just the fundamentals. Most importantly, you need to delve into the profundity of the sutras and the Tripitaka. So only by mastering the Tripitaka would you be called the Dharma teacher of Tripitaka. And the Tripitaka includes sutras, vinayas or precepts, and sastras, the three baskets. Sutras, vinayas, and sastras. Sutras are the Dharma or the teachings spoken by the Buddha. Vinaya is the precepts for all the monks and the nuns, bhikshus and bhikshunis. So the precepts include the precepts for the Sami, the novice, for the bhikshus and for the bhikshunis. And the sastras are the treatises or the commentaries by all the past gurus with attainments or mahasiddhas. So these three baskets we call the Tripitaka, and only by mastering these three you would be a true Dharma teacher, not just by shaving your head and sleep and eat. But any Dharma teacher, any person needs to sleep and eat. Even eating and sleeping are also Buddha Dharma. From now on, everything is Buddha Dharma. I have said, eating means making offering, bardo delivering. Wearing clothes is doing protection. It's maintaining the precepts. Reciting is meditating, doing samadhi, and traveling is chanting the Buddha's name or chanting the sutras. So eating, wearing, reciting, and traveling, they are all Buddha Dharma. None of the daily activities is not Buddha Dharma. So once you become a ordained Sangha, you would know how to cultivate spiritually. Just now I said only spiritual cultivation can lead you to the liberation from transmigration in the rebirth cycle. It doesn't matter which rebirth realm you are in, all the same you need to deliver yourself and others. All the same. You need to liberate yourself and also deliver others. You need to enlighten yourself and also enlighten others. You need to witness your Buddha nature and teach others to witness Buddha nature. Only until you reach the perfection of realization and conduct would you be Namo Buddhaya. So this is because the Dharma teachers celebrating the graduation, but that's only the beginning. Now we'll do the Q&A. A question from Malaysia. Lianhua Zhenyan. Okay, Master and Simu, peace. When an expecting mother attends a ceremony and receives an empowerment, does the life in her womb also receive the empowerment? Does it mean that the child can practice the Dharma without receiving empowerment in the future? The question that he asks, it's beyond my imagination. As she's pregnant and then she's receiving an empowerment, so is the fetus inside the womb receives empowerment and then in the future can just perform the practice? Namo Amitabha. It's difficult to answer. You say, as a baby inside the womb, and she receives an empowerment, so does it mean that the baby also receives an empowerment? Anybody wants to say your opinion? I think this name seems to indicate a man. No, in Indonesia. No, Malaysia. From Malaysia. It must be from a man. Can a man be pregnant? He's asking about a pregnant woman. Anybody smart? Smartest one, please give an answer. And nobody's smartest in Buddha school? I am very dumb. As you know, maybe I'm very stupid. My schooling in elementary school. Famous to be the last. I don't know how to answer. Let me ask the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. The answer was outside my expectation. The answer. If the child when they are inside the mother's womb, already have spiritual feeling, then they have received the empowerment. But if the fetus do not have any spiritual feeling, then it's the same as not receiving the empowerment. They are examples. Back then, Sakyamuni Buddha's queen, Sakyamuni Buddha had become a monk, and then his concubine, Yasudhara, because Sakyamuni Buddha used the horse whip pointing to the abdomen of Yasodhara, she became pregnant. And after she got married, she got pregnant, of course, the Prince Siddhartha's father did not believe that. So the king prepared a fire to burn her, but the child inside her womb had spiritual awareness, who later became Rahula, is one of the 10 great disciples of the Buddha, the one with the most secret practices. So he had the spiritual awareness already, and he knew that he was about to be burned, because he had a great, strong spiritual root to be a disciple of the Buddha. So he chanted a secret mantra. So inside the womb, he already knew how to chant the mantra. By chanting that mantra, the fire pit became a lotus pond, white lotus pond. So the baby inside her womb saved Yasudhara's life. So it depends on the child inside the womb. If they have spiritual awareness and spiritual capacity, then they would receive the empowerment. So there are 2 answers. For those without spiritual awareness, then of course they don't receive the empowerment. But those with spiritual awareness, they receive the empowerment. Do you understand? That's right. In the future, if I were to be reincarnated, it's coming again. Come again to the Saha world, because Grandmaster is already 80 this year, according to Taiwanese calendar. And it's also according to American calendar as well. And many disciples said, Grandmaster, you come to my womb, okay? I will take good care of you. So after I pass, we hooked our pinkies and she wanted to be my mother. A disciple from California, she wanted to be my mother. When I'm pregnant, you need to come into my womb and I want to be your mother, taking good care of you. And some other people from mainland China who also said that. And I'm still considering. Because they can choose on their own where they want to be born. Those with a true spiritual awareness can. Like Sakyamuni Buddha, he chose his own mother. His mother dreamt of the six tusked white elephant entering into her womb. That's Lady Maya. So, before giving birth, she dreamt of the six tusked white elephant entering into her womb. So that showed that the baby had spiritual awareness. And according to what they said, when Sakyamuni Buddha was born, immediately he could have one hand pointing to the sky, another hand pointing to the earth. That in heavens and on earth, I'm the only one. He could do that right away. And then after each of his steps, there was a lotus blossom. So he had spiritual awareness. When I was born, it was almost like the Naja, the prince, the third prince Naja. See, when the mother gave birth to him, it was a ball. It's a meatball, like a meat egg. And then when you open the meat ball, there was the baby popping out, and that's the third prince Naja. That's in the legend of the gods. When I was born, I was unique because I was enshrouded by white like silk thread. So the midwife felt that at that time they used sesame oil to take off that white thread. So there's always something unique or something different. So what's unique about Grandmaster is to be enshrouded that by white thread or fabric. So like Mother Mary giving birth to Jesus, there were 3 kings from the Persia who saw the star pointing to Bethlehem, and the 3 kings rode on the camels to follow the star and found Jesus. And Marie and her partner, that was before marriage, so they had not shared a bed. So Virgin Mary. So that's why Jesus' father also felt that Jesus was not his son. The same with my father. When I was born, that was 7 months after my parents got married. And my mother said I was premature, but my father said no such a thing. And I'm dead. That I live a suffering day, suffering life. I have told you, and I was given to my grandma because my father did not want to accept that I was his son. So I was taken care by my grandmother until she died, and then my aunt took care of me. And when my aunt was about to get married, there was no other ways, and so she took me home. And that's how it was after that. So I don't know who's my real father. Because my father never recognized me. So that was quite pitiful. I was mistreated when in childhood. The other day, my yidam told me that your father now has gone to Sukawati because I Bardu delivered my family and relatives first, and I Bardu delivered them all. The father who raised me, I also Bardu delivered him. And there was one who came to me, was my brother-in-law of my elder sister by the family name Xu. You have Bardu delivered so many of them, but I was kindest to you when you were little. Why didn't you Bardu deliver me? And then so finally I Bardu delivered him, the family name Xu, the husband of my elder sister. Because in my childhood there were 2 people who took best care of me, my elder sister by the name of Lu-Ling, and my aunt Wang Xuehua. She took care greatly of these 2 people were my benefactors. So my elder sister's husband came to me wanting to be Bardu delivered, so I did. Those were all of the past. They were always history in life, right? But not enough for outsiders.
讲笑话吧啊！昨天晚上啊，去那个
Let's share some joke.
按摩脚的店按摩。
Last night I
是一个
went
帅哥给我
to the massage
他
parlor,
的手劲太大了。
and a handsome man
我说
with
了好几
strong
遍，轻一点。
with
当我
great
说到
strength
讲到第6遍的
massage
时
me,
候，
and I've told
跟他
them,
讲
oh,
还能再
lighter,
轻一点。
lighter, 6 times.
他
And
对
I
我
said,
说
6,
没
even lighter.
我如果再轻一点，就成了摸了。
And then he replied, if you want it lighter, then it would become a caress.
按摩脚底。
That's massaging the sole of the feet.
小的时候，父母工作很忙，把我
When I was
送到
little,
乡
my
下外
parents were very busy, and they sent
小
me
学1
to
年级
my
开学的
mom's
时候，
mother in the village.
校园里面长满了草。
And
老师
then
说，下午
the
劳
first
动
grade
课
in
请
elementary,
同学
there were
们
many
帮
grass,
忙除草。
and the teacher said,
等到下午的时候，
we'd like to have all the
有的人
students help
带
cutting the
锄头，
grass.
有的人带
And
镰
then
刀，
some people bring
有
some
的带铲子，都跑到外头下
sickles
把
and
牛牵来。
and
同学们不
shovels
禁呆
and
了。
all that.
这个时
But
候
I
就是我
brought
最
a
悲
cow
痛的时候，
to the school, and
牛
everybody was shocked.
带牛来吃草。
So I brought the cow to eat the grass.
有一个太太回家的时候啊，紧张，非常紧张。
A lady got home and
太太
very
就
anxious,
跟先生讲，太太
excited,
吓死我了。
and told the husband, "Oh,
先
I
生
was
问
so
怎么
shocked
了？
just now. What happened?"
那个太
The
太
husband
一个
asked,
男人一直跟着我。
and the lady said, "Oh, there's a man
那
kept
个
following
先生就
me."
讲，
And
你
this
有
one
没
said,
有看清楚那个男人长得怎么样？
"Did you see clearly what
太
he
太
looks
讲
like?"
没有啊，
And the
我
wife
低
said,
着头，
"No,
根
I
本不敢回
just
头看
kept
他。
my head down. I didn't dare to look at him."
先生讲说，你应该回
And
头
the
的。
husband said, "You should."
太太讲说，回头干嘛？
Why?
先
The
生说，
wife
你
asked.
一回头，
And the husband said, "As soon
他
as
就不会
you
再跟你了。
turn around and look
他
him in the
肯定
face,
跑得比你还快。
he wouldn't follow you anymore. He would run faster than you, run away faster."
就像我们那个 trick or treat，
This joke is like during the Halloween trick
小
or
明的
treat.
妈妈去参加那个
Xiaoming's mother
啊
attended the Halloween
鬼的那
party.
个谁化妆的像鬼的比赛，小明妈妈得到
competition
第一名。
who would
哇！那小明
get the
妈妈
best
厉害
costume. And Xiaoming's mom was first,
小明回来告诉
but
爸爸，
she cried really
鬼
hard.
节比赛啊，妈妈鬼
And
节
when
比
they
赛
got
得到
home,
第一名
Xiaoming said, "Well, you
第一
know,
名
at
很好啊。
Halloween, mom was first,
小明
number
讲
one. Oh,
但
that's
是她
good."
没有化妆就是第一名。
And Xiaoming said, "But she won first without any costume or makeup."
到了这把年纪，
At this age,
会在你的耳朵旁边唱歌的，
the one who would
而且
sing
很喜欢
at
你
your
的肉体，
ears and love your skin and your flesh and then give you bumps. Only mosquitoes. The colleague went on a date, on a marriage date, and we asked, how did it go? In the beginning, it was good. And then the girl gave him a riddle and then left. What is the idiom with a group of women chatting without a man? I thought and could not get it. And then later on, I thought of it. Talk without a bird. Next time you can do that too. Now we'll expound on Vimalakirti Sutra. Sakyamuni Buddha told Ananda, Ananda, when you observe the Buddha verses, the ground may appear to have limits, but the sky has no limit. You see all the Buddhas have their Buddha verses or Buddha lands. But do you see the sky, the cosmic space? The cosmic space is infinite. Sakyamuni Buddha gave this analogy. In this way, one sees the physical forms of all Buddhas may appear limited, yet their obstructed wisdom is boundless. The Buddha's physical forms or appearances are limited, however, the wisdom of all the Buddhas are infinite, unobstructed, boundless. The wisdom of the Buddhas is boundless. The Buddha verse is limited. The cosmic space is infinite. Sakyamuni Buddha continued, Ananda, all the Buddhas vary in their appearance, their attainments, their dignity, their characteristics, like precepts, meditative stability, wisdom, liberation, the knowledge and vision of liberation, their strengths, fearlessness, the 18 uncommon qualities are all the same. precept, meditation, liberation, wisdom, knowledge and vision, liberation, their powers, fearlessness, the 18 uncommon qualities, loving kindness, compassion, dignified manner, conduct, lifespan, Dharma teaching, deliverance, and deliverance in guiding sentient beings to attain the Buddha verses. To let sentient beings to attain the pure Buddha verses, like Sukhawatis of Amitabha Tathagata. Someone asked me, once you get there, do you still need to maintain the precepts? Now I'm asking all of you, if you go to the Buddha verse of Amitabha Buddha, do you still need to maintain the precepts? Some people shake their heads. Do you need to abide by the precepts when you get to Sukhavati? Most people shook their heads. But let me tell you, really, once you arrive at the Buddha verse, you don't have to abide by the precepts. Let's talk about the 5 precepts. Not to kill. There are no sentient beings there. No animals. Well, but there are parrots, peacocks, kalavinka, jivajiras. They are the animals, but it's stated in the Amitabha Sutra, they were manifested by Amitabha Buddha. They were manifested by Amitabha Buddha. So there are no animals there. That's why you don't have to abide by the precepts not to kill, because there is nothing or nobody to kill. Second, steal. Do you need to maintain the precept not to steal? No need. They're gold all over the ground, not those gold bars in the toilet, but the gold covering all the ground. And the structures were all made from 7 treasures, 7 layers of net, 7 layers of buildings, 7 layers of trees. They're all made of precious jewels. Why do you need to steal? You've lived in the best place possible. Do you still need to steal? No need. They're gold everywhere on the ground. Tomorrow we have the wealth-attracting goddess Homa, and I hope all of our ground will be covered by gold. So there's no need to steal. Not like here now. You need to steal. Especially in California, there are many robberies and thefts. Really yuck. But look, in Sukhavati, there are money everywhere. What do you need to steal? Now, do you need to maintain the precept not to commit sexual misconduct? There are no women there. We're all the same gender. So, of course, there's no sexual misconduct. No more desire. or lewdness, and not to lie. That's the place of the gathering of good people. There's no need to say false speech, and no need to drink alcohol because they're all nectars there. You can drink all kinds of nectars. So in the Pure Land, there is no need to maintain the precepts. Because we have lots of afflictions in the Saha world. Afflictions due to wealth, fame, sleep, food, and sensual pleasures. That's why you have to maintain the precepts. But in Sukhavati, you don't need to, because it's all pure there, intrinsic suchness. Like in Sukhavati, upon hearing the harmonious and graceful sound, you would generate samadhi and would cultivate naturally. And if you go to omni-fragrant Buddhaverse, by eating the fragrant rice, you would enter the samadhi of fragrance accumulation. And your whole body would exude fragrance, and you would be in samadhi and cultivating spiritually. So fragrance can also allow spiritual cultivation, and beautiful music would also induce spiritual cultivation. That's why during Homa, I like to first hear what they would be chanting. And some chanting is really beautiful, that you would have calmness and peace in your heart. In the Pure Land and Buddhaverse, with that graceful, harmonious sound, you would enter samadhi. That's spiritual cultivation. So, in Sukhavati, we use sound to deliver sentient beings. In the omni-fragrant Buddhaverse, they use fragrant rice to deliver sentient beings. They are all different. But they are all Buddha Dharma. So the 18 uncommon qualities, loving kindness, compassion, dignified manner, conduct, all the same for all the Buddhas. So all Buddha Dharma is equal. All Buddhas are equal. Buddha nature is all equal. No differentiation, no differences. Even those with differences are also Buddha Dharma. But ultimately, at the end, there are no differences. Once you become a Buddha, you're all equal. So, Sakyamuni Buddha said all is equal. Sakyamuni Buddha told Ananda, although Sakyamuni Buddha is in the Saha world, but all the same, he has no hindrances. He's the same as the fragrant accumulation Tathagata of the omni-fragrant Buddhaverse. He's the same, but just the way of delivering sentient beings is different. Earlier, we talk about because there's suffering, and Sakyamuni Buddha used suffering to deliver sentient beings. Because sentient beings have sufferings. Because you all know suffering, that's why you want to be liberated. So suffering is Buddha Dharma. So he used suffering as Buddha Dharma. Because humans have afflictions, he used afflictions as Buddha Dharma to deliver sentient beings. That's why afflictions are enlightenment. So there's just one Dharma and never two. That's why it's non-duality Dharma gate. Sakyamuni Buddha told Ananda. Therefore, they are called Samyak Sambuddha. Tathagata and Buddha. Samyak Sambuddha. In Taiwanese, Samyak Sambuddhi, Anuttara Samyak Sambuddhi means the supreme perfect enlightenment. Tathagata is the same as Buddha. That's Tathagata, Buddha, Samyak Sambuddha. That's their names. Ananda, if I were to fully explain the meaning of these three phrases, Samyak Sambuddha or Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, Tathagata and Buddha, even a lifespan of a kalpa would be insufficient. Like no matter how long you live, it would not be enough. In India, they use this kalpa to represent. In India. So, no matter how long you live, it would not be sufficient to listen to the meaning of these three terms. Supreme Perfect Enlightenment, Tathagata and Buddha. Your whole lifetime would not be enough to listen to the explanation of these three terms. Even if these 3,000 great thousand worlds were filled with beings who, like Ananda, were foremost in upholding perfect memory and with lifespans of a kalpa, they would still not be able to fully receive it. What does it mean? It's boundless and vast. Tathagata, Buddha, and Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Their spatial dimension is boundless. Their time dimension is also boundless. Just for these three terms, Tathagata, Buddha, and Samyak Sambodhi, that you, Ananda, would not, your whole lifetime would not be enough. So it means that the past, present, and future will not be enough either. And then up and down and the 8 directions represent vast and boundlessness, vastness and boundlessness. No one can understand these 3 terms. Buddha, Tathagata, and Samyak Sambodhi. No one can truly explain it completely.
如是阿难，释迦牟尼佛又对阿难尊者讲了。
Sakyamuni Buddha told Ananda again, thus Ananda, the Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, Supreme Perfect Enlightenment of the Buddhas, is limitless. So, the Supreme Perfect Enlightenment of all Buddhas is infinite, and their wisdom and eloquence are inconceivable, beyond your imagination. So Ananda told the Buddha, from now on, I dare not consider myself learned or the one who's heard and learned the most, because of the 10 great disciples, Ananda has heard the most. Actually, what he's learned is just tiny little bit. How could it? Among the Shravakas, perhaps he's the most learned, but among the Bodhisattvas or the Buddhas, just tiny little bit. Just a drop. And so Ananda said, oh, I can't say I'm the most learned anymore. And the Buddha told Ananda, oh, do not become discouraged. Because I said that, you become disheartened and left spiritual cultivation. Why? I have said that among the Sravakas, you are the most learned. In that realm, you have heard the most, so you're still number one in hearing. But in the realm of the Buddhas, you only know tiny little bit. So do not abandon your spiritual commitment. Why? Because Ananda, among the Sravakas, you have heard the most. You can't compare to the Bodhisattvas. Let it be, Ananda. The wise one should not try to measure the Bodhisattvas. You are wise, since you have great wisdom, but it's difficult for you to measure the realm of the Bodhisattvas or the realm of the Buddhas. The realm of the Bodhisattvas are already higher than the realm of the Sravakas, let alone the realm of the Buddhas. It's inconceivable, immeasurable. Don't think that you're the greatest and high, but actually you're just tiny, like a sesame seed or mung bean. Nothing, no big deal. Among the Sravakas, Ananda has heard the most, but he's incomparable to the Bodhisattvas. All the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, you can't even start to compare. So according to Sakyamuni Buddha, you can measure the depth of the ocean or the vastness of the ocean, but not the meditative stability, wisdom, upholding of the teaching, eloquence, and merits and virtues of the Bodhisattvas. So the Bodhisattvas' meditation, all the wisdom, Dharma power, eloquence, merits and virtues cannot be measured at all.
海都可以测量。
You can measure the ocean,
菩萨没有办法。
but not the bodhisattvas.
所以不要以为自己多大。
So don't think you are that great.
芝麻绿豆光，
You're just tiny little bit.
芝麻绿豆光还好的。
Sesame seed and a mung bean, that's still not bad, but even not that big.
所以很多人呢，自己以为啊，
So many people think
很伟大，
that they are great.
简直是比放屁。
That's
渺小的很，
minuscule.
连一只虫都不如。
Less than an insect.
我们学佛的人要谦虚啊。
So as a Buddhist, we should be modest and humble.
大的不得了。
And never think that you are great or the greatest or incredibly great.
迟早的很。
Too early to say, too early.
以这个来跟众生讲。
So Sakyamuni Buddha used this to tell sentient beings.
他讲
Look at the
如来
realm of the Buddhas.
佛陀
Tathagata,
正正解，
Buddha, Samyak Sambuddhi.
讲都讲不完，
It's
不可限量。
it's endless to explain. It's
海水都
immeasurable, inconceivable. You can measure the ocean
年轻的
water.
时候，我是学测量。
When Grandmaster was young, I
台湾
learned
的第一条
surveyor.
高速公路，
The first highway in Taiwan was surveyed by me.
第一条高速公路还以前没有高速公路啊。
And before that, there was no highways.
后来
And then later on,
这个叫我们测量，去测量高速公路。第一
they
条高
asked
速公
me
路
to survey the
我
highway.
负责哪一段？
So the first one
从
I did.
西湖到台中。
I did the part from Sihu to Taichung.
我学的是大地测量。
I learned about the Great Earth
台
Survey
北都市计划，
and the city planning of Taipei was also surveyed by me.
我测量哪里啊？
Where did I survey?
新
Muza,
景
Xindong
美、
Road,
中和
Jingmei, Zhonghe,
啊、建立、中和、三重、
Sanchong
台北都市计划。
were surveyed by myself.
另外有一些
So the city planning of Taipei
秘密
and some secret ones that I cannot share publicly.
是我去测量。钓鱼台
Also Diao Yitai.
本来台湾的地图上面是没有钓鱼台的，
On Taiwan map, there was no Diao Yitai because it was such a tiny island.
后来发觉原来钓鱼台底下有石油。
And then when we discovered
国防部
there
发一个命令说，赶快你们这些测量人，赶快去给我把钓鱼台测出来。
what's that?
一大票的测量人员，
Petroleum.
哇，赶快
And when they discovered that, immediately they commanded us to survey
把钓鱼台
that island
画出来，
and then to add it onto the map,
台湾的地图上面。
on Taiwan map.
现在日本人讲说，钓鱼台是我们的，
So
中
the
国讲
Japanese
钓鱼台是
say
我们的，
that
台湾讲说钓鱼台是我们
Japanese
的。
say that Diao Yitai is ours, and China said
其实
Diao
是
Yitai is
我们去
ours,
测量
and Taiwan also said Diao Yitai is
说没有注
ours.
在那里
But actually, we added it later,
是我们那时候测量人去做的，
and it was done by our surveying team.
很多的海
See, you can measure the ocean water. I've lived in Zhuoying, in the Navy Engineering College, to learn about to survey the ocean, the depth of the ocean, so that when the ships sail, that we have to know the depth of the ocean. Otherwise, the big ships may get stuck by the bottom of the ocean. So we have to survey the bottom of the ocean too. And there's also a sky surveying to get on the plane and to measure, and also the earth or the ground. And then the flat survey. So those are the skills I had surveying. So Sakyamuni Buddha said that you can measure the ocean, but it's impossible to measure or fathom the bodhisattvas. They are boundless. It's impossible. It's impossible to measure or to fathom their merits and virtues. So a human being is less than an ant. Just for this tiny little bit of ground, they were fighting with each other. Wouldn't it be good if people live in harmony, at peace with each other? And this is mine, this piece is mine, this piece is yours. Those are tiny little bit. And yet they were fighting to the end of their life. They were so dumb. They think they are smart. Humans think they are smart. This country fight with another country, fighting for power and status. But what can you take away from the earth? I've told you. Is there any human being that can take away anything with you? Not even a needle. So what are you fighting for? It's dog poo humanity. It's even worse. Humanity is worse than dog poo. So dumb. So that's why I am teaching all of you to open your heart and your mind. It should be as wide open as the sky. Then you can merge with the cosmic space. That's how humans are. If you are so small-minded and narrow-minded, then you have to stay in the rebirth cycle. But if you can be as wide open as the sky, you can merge with the cosmic space, then you would have attainments. That's why what Sakyamuni Buddha told Ananda was the ultimate truth. The wise one should not stay restricted or be limited by any limitations. So all the Buddha's meditation, wisdom, power, the upholding eloquence merits cannot be fathomed or measured. Sakyamuni Buddha told Ananda, you and others disregard the practices of the Bodhisattvas. Vimalakirti exercised his miraculous powers in an instant, which none of the Sravakas and Prateka Buddhas, even if they exhausted their efforts and attempted transformation over hundreds of thousands of kalpas, can accomplish. So all the Sravakas and Prateka Buddhas will not be able to do what Vimalakirti did, even if the Sravakas and Prateka Buddhas, Prateka Buddhas knew from the 12th ling of dependent rising. Even if they have exhausted all the efforts, they will not be able to do what Vimalakirti can in his transcendent power. Only the bodhisattvas of the great vehicle has such a power, can transform the big one into small one and tiny one into huge one. So just a little bit of fragrant rice can feed millions of bodhisattvas. And in an instant, he could get to the omnifragrant Buddhaverse. And then instantly, he could bring all the bodhisattvas to the Amrapura garden. And Vimalakirti could do it, but none of the Sravakas could. They could not even climb onto the Dharma thrones. So Sakyamuni Buddha still praise those on the great vehicle, because the attainment of those practicing the smaller vehicle is still limited, but the greater vehicle is limitless. I've gone over.